Is this thing live? I can't say what T.S. Madison normally says, when she says, is this thing live? And then, profanity falls out of her mouth afterwards. So I'm not going to do the T.S. Madison version, but hey, everybody. I see I have one on. This is my first time doing YouTube live, so welcome. Let's see. How can I tell who's on here? How do you work this? I don't know. Anyway, this is a summer makeup look, and I dedicate this video to, I'm gonna butcher your name. I know I'm not gonna pronounce it right, but if I do, great. If I don't, please don't get mad at me, but I think it's Bonqui or Bonqui Marie. So this is per your request. This is going to be a summer makeup look. So jumping right in, I've already cleaned and moisturized my face using Neutrogena products. And if you want to know what products I used, leave the comments down below and I'll gladly list them, or I can do a video showing you my morning routine or evening routine, and I can show you the products that I use to clean my face. And I am all natural at this moment, so yes, I have blemishes. My skin isn't perfect. I am a woman of a particular age, so I think I have, well, at one point I was having breakouts and someone said that it was due to my age. I don't know, I'm 47. Yeah, so anyway, let me go ahead and get started on this look. So as I mentioned before, I cleaned and moisturized my face. And just a disclaimer, this is my makeup routine. This routine may not be for everyone, but it works for me. So just to give you a little bit of information on my skin, I have combination skin. I'm oily in my T-zone, and this method that I use works perfectly for me because of my combination skin. And this routine also allows my makeup to last all day. When I say all day, I've fallen asleep by mistake in my makeup before and woke up and I was still looking flawless. I was like, what the heck? So I was like, I think I found a holy grail method. So I'm rambling. Anyway, I also decided to try a new foundation because the one I used previously was light to medium coverage, and because of my blemishes, I needed something to cover up these dark spots a little bit more. So previously I used CoverGirl Queen Collection and they don't sell it anymore. So I've been forced to find another foundation, and the other one I found is an oldie but goodie, and I've actually fallen in love with it. It's Revlon Color Stay makeup, and it's the 24-hour formula. Can you guys see that? Yeah. And the color of this one is, oh my goodness. Oh, 440 Mahogany. I don't have to blend this with anything else. Color-wise, it comes out a little bit light, but once it oxidizes on my face and my body temperature, it ends up perfectly. And when you first put it on, it may look a little bit oily, but again, once it dries, it turns into like a natural matte finish. And I've fallen in love with this foundation. This is like my go-to now. Previously, again, it was CoverGirl Queen Collection. That's out of the picture, so I had to find another one, and I am extremely happy with this foundation. It's great for oily skin, and I can speak on that because, again, my skin is combination oily, and this is perfect. So the first thing I do is, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because I am a lady of a particular age, I have my own personal summers, so I keep these handy. This is from Dollar Tree. They come in so many beautiful colors. They don't last forever, but you get what you pay for. But hey, these come in handy, baby. They are perfect. As a matter of fact, I'm having my own personal summer right now. So let me just pat myself dry so I can jump right into this video. So the first thing I do after cleaning and moisturizing my face is I do a little prep, and I use Neutrogena Shine Control Primer. This primer is my holy grail, and it acts as a barrier for not only oil, but it keeps my makeup in place. So yeah, and I don't put on a whole hell of a lot. I just put on enough to cover the basics. So let me adjust my mirror here so I can see what I'm doing. And I mainly focus on my T-zone. And like I mentioned before, a little bit goes a long way. And I apologize if you guys are leaving comments or anything like that. I can't see them. So, and right now I'm not showing anybody on this live stream, but that's okay. Feel free to jump on and say hello. Yes, I put a little bit on my eye area to act as a primer for my eyeshadow as well. And always be gentle when you're applying any product to your face, because your face is extremely sensitive. So after I put on my primer, I want to make sure it's dry at all. I go in with my foundation, Revlon Color Stay 24 Hours Color 440 Mocha. I don't use beauty blenders because of the sponge. So this brush, this foundation brush, I actually found on Wish about a year or so ago, and it works perfectly. And I'll show you how I use it. You can use it just like a beauty blender. You can stipple your makeup onto your face just like the beauty blender. And as you can see, it's going on pretty light, but that's okay because you'll see it oxidize. So yeah, I stipple it on. And I cover my eye area just as well because I want an even canvas. And this brush is big enough and wide enough to whereas it covers a lot of your facial area really quickly, because you don't want to spend all day just applying foundation. So it has almost like a orange undertone, kind of reddish undertone, but again, once it oxidizes and sets on your face, it changes. And I like what it looks like once it changes. And again, you have to be gentle, especially around your eye area. And this brush is so soft. I love it. And I like to do the stippling effect because it gives you that airbrushed look and it doesn't move the previous product that you applied. So I think that looks pretty good. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but previously when I first applied it, it went on and it looked kind of shiny, kind of oily. Now that shine is going away and it's giving me that matte look. So after my foundation, I go in with a concealer, and I still use the LA Girl Pro concealer, and this color is GC 984 Toffee. Can you guys see that? So yeah, and I mainly concentrate on my T-zone area and my eyes. And I do one at a time because this concealer, it dries pretty quick. And I use the stippling effect as well. Because I don't want to move the foundation and the face primer that I put on previously. And this brush is really soft as well. It's a foundation brush, but it works out well for what I'm using it for. Concealers also act as a base for your eyeshadows. So it helps the eyeshadows stay in place and also allows your eyeshadow something to stick to. So and I don't like a super highlight under my eyes. And yes, I do the mustache area. And this is what they call a reverse contour method. And I stipple this area because, again, I don't want the highlight or the product to move. So once I get my highlight area on, I want to set everything. So I'm gonna use my Milani Powder Foundation. Can you see that? And the color of this one, it's an even tone powder foundation, 08 Warm Toffee. and I've hit pan, which means I obviously like it. So I use a big brush for this, and I move really fast to set those areas that I highlighted. And again, you want to make sure your brushes are soft. So I just set that. Now I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and I use this spoolie with the comb and brush at the end. And this definitely gets into my eyebrows. It removes foundation or primer or whatever it was that I put on my face in the beginning. This brush removes it for me. So I use my 99-cent eyeliner. It's an auto eyeliner for 99-cent, and the color is black brown. I use black brown because I don't want anything too harsh. And basically, I am just following the original lining of my eyebrows. And I don't pull it all the way to the front because I like the ombre effect. And I'll show you how I do that. And I don't really have hair on the end of my eyebrows. It's like really, really sparse. So I have to draw them in. So I use the spoolie side of this brush and just pull it into the front area. And it gives you a nice brushed, natural look to your eyebrows. It doesn't give you that harsh square look at the beginning. And some of you may like the square look at the beginning, but I don't. And again, to each his own. I like the ombre effect. I see I have 2 people on. Welcome, guys. I can't see your comments or anything, so I can't shout you out. I appreciate you being on here with me. Thank you. This is my first time doing YouTube Live. So now that I drew in and filled in my eyebrows, I want to highlight them. So I use my trusty NYX concealer palette. This is the one for, this is the dark deep palette, and this is the 3CP03 deep. Probably can't see that, but yeah. This, whoops. This is the one that I use to highlight my eyebrows. And you can use the other ones, you know, as you see fit, but I've hit pan on this color, so obviously I like this one. And I don't really go under my whole eyebrow. I just do my highbrow bone area because this is what I want to bring attention to. And this is the area I want to focus on. So I don't go all the way to the front. I've seen a lot of videos with, you know, the young ladies starting at the beginning of their eyebrows, and hey, it looks good and it works for them, but I only want to highlight this area. And I like to use my finger to help blend that in because your finger is warm and it helps the product to melt into your skin and give you a flawless look. It looks blended, and that's what you want. Now I'm going into my powder contour palette, and I ordered this palette. It's a modern fashion palette. I ordered this palette from Wish. I paid a little bit of nothing for it, and the number on this is 02, whatever that means, but it was the darkest palette they have. And when I tell you these powders are pigmented, man, this is the best investment that I didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on. This was the best find in the world to me for Wish. So I'm gonna use this color here to go over that cream concealer on my brow bone because I don't like that shiny look. So this just gives me a matte finish and takes away that shine, but it still gives me the highlight that I want. And again, I like to blend in using my finger. So, eyebrows are complete now. I want to bring some color. I'm gonna start working on my eyeshadow, but before I work on the eyeshadow, I want to contour my nose a little bit, bring some shape back to my nose. So I'm gonna use this same palette, and this brush is from e.l.f. and the number on this one is 104, and I promise you, I think this brush was made for nose contour. I absolutely love it. I've tried other brushes and they don't work. This one works perfectly. And the color I'm gonna use for my nose contour is this color here. I know it looks bright, but it goes on with a tanned look because I don't want anything too harsh, and you'll see. And a little bit goes a long way. Basically, contouring is just bringing shape back to your face after you apply your foundation, because your foundation flattens out your whole surface and you want to bring shape back. So hopefully you can tell that the contour is here now. And I also like to contour my cheekbones, this area here, to bring shape back to my face. I already have a natural contour, but I like to make it pop a little more, so I'm gonna use that same color. And just bring some shape back to my face. And I also do under my cheeks. Again, bringing that shape back. And I go a little bit, just a tad deeper right here. Gives your lips a push. Make it looks like you have a bigger pout. Right there. Okay, now I want to jump into my eyeshadows, and I forgot my palette, so I'll be right back. So I found this blush palette. It's called a contour and blush palette from Burlington Co Factory. Paid a little bit of nothing for it. They're huge, huge pieces here, and they're extremely pigmented. I was shocked, but I love this palette. So I'm gonna use this color here as a transition color on my eyeshadow palette. And yeah, it's supposed to be used for contour, but I use it as an eyeshadow. And just because it says blush and contour doesn't mean you have to stick with that format. You can use any kind of makeup, any kind of way to make it work for you. So I'm gonna use this blending brush here. And this blending brush is from BH Cosmetic. I bought it years ago and it works for me. It's like perfect and it's soft. So a little bit of this goes a long way. And I just put it in my transition area. I don't want an extremely large amount of color, even though this is a summer look, and you know, sometimes you can go bright and do whatever you want with your eyeshadows, but I'm more so a neutral girl. So I want to look made up, but I don't want to look like I have on a ton of makeup. So I don't go extreme. I do just enough to make me look clean and add a pop of color, but I don't do extreme. So there's tons of videos here on YouTube that I've seen with young ladies going in and they do a lot, but my channel is not for that. So, and again, I'm having my personal summer, and I think that Neutrogena primer, that face primer, is almost like sweat proof. I promise you, because I do have my hot flashes, and when I sweat, my makeup doesn't move. I don't get a ton of product on my paper towels. Now, without the primer, this paper towel would be completely brown. Like, yeah, but since I've been using that primer, my makeup doesn't move. It doesn't come off as easily. So that Neutrogena primer, this one here, this is some amazing stuff. So I put on my transition color. Now I'm going to use the CoverGirl True Naked Roses palette. This has been out for a while, even though it says new on the package. It's not new. So surprisingly, these colors on this palette are very pigmented. So the number on this one is 815 Roses, and it clearly says roses on it. And I absolutely love this palette because the color payoff on this palette is extremely pigmented. It's beautiful, guys. So I'm going to do my lid first, and I'm gonna use the middle color here, the rose color here, to do my lid. Or no, I think I'm gonna go a little bit darker. Gonna use this deeper rose color. A little bit goes a long way, guys. A little bit goes a long way. So I like to pat it on. And if you move it around a lot, this eyeshadow palette does have a lot of fallout. So if you pat it on into the area that you're focusing on, it'll help with that fallout. It'll keep it from getting all over your face. Now, I've seen videos where young ladies put on the powder under their eye and leave it there. They bake with it, and then they put on the eyeshadow. And if the eyeshadow has fallout, the powder sitting under your eyes helps when you sweep it away. It keeps the eyeshadow from falling onto your foundation. So this is a really, really neutral look, and I want to brighten it up a little bit because this is a summer look. So I'm going to go in next to the brightest one, and I'm going to pick up that color, and I'm just going to focus right here on the center. That made it pop a lot. Not gonna go all over the place, just stick right here on the center. And I have hooded eyes, so I'll move it up a little bit, and I'm gonna flip it back to the dark rose side and just blend it in a little bit. And then I'm gonna also go back in with my blending brush to kind of fix that a little bit. Okay. I want to deepen the corners up because I want to bring some depth to the shape of my eyes. So I'm gonna go in with a smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna pick up this last color here to add a little depth to the corners of my eyes. And this color, it almost looks black. So it's really, really pretty. I hope you guys can see that. I don't want black because I'm trying to keep it nice and neutral, but color, because this is a summer look. And I think going in with black would just make it look a little too harsh. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a gel eyeliner, and this is by L'Oreal Infallible, the one with the gold top. And the color of this one is 173 Espresso. I love gel eyeliners because they go in and do exactly what it is you want. And let's see, my eyeliner brush. I hold the corners. And this gel eyeliner is amazing. It goes on so easily. and so smooth. I don't do a wing liner because I don't like the wing liners. I'm sorry. Perfect. And when you're using the gel liners, make sure you wipe your brushes as you go because that gel liner will make your brushes hard. And if you try to use it without cleaning it out first and go in on your eyes, it will hurt. You don't want to hurt your eyes. Now I want to go in with a mascara. This is my Holy Grail mascara. I know that was expressive, I know. But L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. This is black. It has a tiny, tiny brush. Look at that. Almost doesn't look like a brush at all, but it holds so much product. So you start at the bottom, wiggle your way up. And can you guys see this product on this brush that's coming off? Can you see that compared to this one? And this one brush holds enough product for both eyes. Because you don't want to keep dipping your mascara brush back into the product. I love this brush because it's small and it gets into every lash. I am gonna redip it because I need more. And man, look at that. It does exactly what I needed to do. I don't wear false eyelashes. I do apply them on my clients, but me personally, I just don't wear it. I like what mascara does. I told you I'm not, you know, out there with makeup. I do just enough. So I want to do a little bit blush on this look. So I'm gonna go in with this brush. This is by Lab 2, LAB2, and this is a blush brush. And I think I'm gonna use the same color that I used on my transition and just barely pat it. And I'm gonna follow the same line as my contour. Very, very lightly. Because again, a little bit goes a long way with this palette. It's very, very pigmented. So I want to show you guys something else I do with my eyeshadow palette, which I really, really like. I take the same Roses palette and I use the brighter colors for highlight. So I'm gonna go in with this rose color here in the middle and just use this wider brush here, barely tap it, and just barely add some highlight. I don't want anything extreme. Just enough. I do the tip of my nose, and I also do the bridge of my nose. Just a subtle highlight. Just to add a subtle highlight. So I'm almost done. Now I want to line my lips. And I also bought this lip liner for 99 cents. It's called Perfect Lip Liner by Maxi, and the color of this one is 25 Rich Berry. Love these pencils because they go on really creamy. Now, if you want a bigger pout, if you really want your lips to look pronounced and big and juicy, then you draw outside of your natural lip line. But because my lips are already naturally full, I stick within the top of my lip line because I don't need to pronounce them anymore. They're big enough. And you always want to fill in your corners. And the reason why you fill in your corners is because it gives you a more puckered look. Makes your lip look more juicy, fuller, and kissable. Yep. Again, filling in the corners. And you want a soft lip liner because the wrong lip liner will rip the skin on your lips and have you walking around with bleeding lips. And that's the last thing you want. So I filled in my pout just the way I need to. Now I'm gonna find a lip color, and I picked up this lip. It's a matte lip color or lip lacquer from Dollar General, believe it or not. And the color of this one is RML01 Queen. Look at this beautiful purple. Oh, it's so pigmented, so pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. Watch. Doesn't take much at all. Got something on my nose. Color pigment and staying power. This color will stay all day, even when I eat and drink. And you may have to reapply it probably once after you eat, but this color will stay all day. So I'm trying to cool down a little bit so that I can apply my setting spray. And my favorite setting spray in the world, and has been for many, many years, is the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. I've used several different brands of setting spray, and I always go back to this one. Certain setting sprays end up making me look oily, and I deal with oily skin, so I don't want to make myself look oily again process. So this setting spray gives me a natural matte finish, but it doesn't look dry. It doesn't make my makeup look cakey or anything like that. So, and a little bit goes a long way. This little bottle has some freaking spraying power, so I gotta kind of put it at a distance. Oh, this feels so good. This helps when you have personal summers. I need to have me a water mist bottle, and just carry it with me so when I have my hot flashes, I can just spray down my face. Oh my gosh. This feels so good. And it cools me down so quickly. Ah, oh, this feels so good. So this is the finished look. I hope you like it. Let me put on my hair. It's really nice, neutral. It has some color, but not too much color. And I love it for summer. Love it for summer. So let me grab my unit. I'll be right back. Okay. So this is a unit that I made. I cut and layered her and curled her. And this is 3 bundles plus a closure. And I use the glue gun method. So, and I also installed an elastic band because I don't use glue or anything on my edges. And this band here is called the wig grip. This allows you to save your edges, and it also keeps the unit in place. You never have to use got to be glued or anything on your edges when you use this thing here. This is the secret. So yeah, let me put this unit on. Trust me, with this wig grip, this unit doesn't go anywhere. If I could run and turn a cartwheel for you, I would, just to show you that it is not going anywhere. Okay. This is the finished look. My summer makeup look. And again, this video is dedicated to, is it Bonqui Marie? Please let me know how you pronounce your name. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. And I hope you like this look. If there is any other type of look you all want me to do, I'll gladly do it. Just jump on my channel and say, hey, Black Pearl's Place, I want to see this or I want to see that. And I will try my best to make that happen. So until my next video, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.